Hello, everyone. I am Krandall Brantley from Buckeyes Daily. We have several recruiting updates. Plus, Ryan Day wants to see a major change to the transfer portal. According to A to Z Sports, Ryan Day is pushing for one major change in college football that could dramatically impact transfer portal era moving forward. Now, Day said he feels pretty strong that players should have mandatory 2-year commitment to a program for entering the transfer portal. Right now, players can transfer every year following the regular season. But Day believes more structure is needed as college football continues evolving with the NIL, revenue sharing, and constant roster movement. Here are the key ideas behind Day's proposal. Players would stay with a school for at least 2 seasons before transferring. Programs would have more roster stability and more time to develop players. Coaches and collectives wouldn't risk investing major NIL money into players who leave after one season. They also believes the structure could ultimately benefit the players by encouraging more long-term development. And now Ohio State actually handled the current era pretty well with NIL and roster movement with the portal, how it's set up now. And so Buckeyes also remain title contenders throughout this portal era as well. But despite that, Ryan Day thinks that the sport in general needs more guidelines. The sport continues changing rapidly. So A to Z Sports, they pointed out that the sport is necessarily spiraling downhill because of these rules, like revenue and interest continues to grow. Many coaches believe this current system lacks enough structure and consistency. And so, look, this will likely help roster building and player development. It also would allow teams to build continuity for the current season and the following season. But there should be some exceptions to what Ryan Day was saying. I agree with a lot he said on the role for 2-year commitment. There should be some exceptions, like a grad transfer. You've already graduated, you should be able to leave after 1 year. And also, if your coach leaves, you should be able to leave after 1 year. If your coach leaves. But if you're not player, the grad transfer, or someone where the coach leaves, I think if you do choose to transfer the end of the portal, you should have to sit out 1 year. The old rule was where you transfer, you sit out 1 year. I think that should be the rule moving forward. And besides that, have that 2-year a plan. They have to stick to one school. I think that would like remove a lot of the transfer portal chaos if those rules were in place. Let me know in the comments what you think about Day's comments on a 2-year mandatory commitment to a program. Okay, for recruiting, according to 247 Sports and Land Grant Hoyle Land, Ohio State was on the recruiting trail following the Under Armour next camp in Columbus and several key campus visits over the weekend. Here are some of the biggest storylines right now for the Buckeyes. For Under Armour camp standouts, you had Jimmy Callis, the OSU commit for 2027, O lineman, had one of the most impressive performances at the camp in Columbus. Four-star offensive tackle commit to Ohio State, goes to Pittsburgh Central Catholic in Pennsylvania. He's 6'8", 288, and earned an Under Armour All America game invitation and dominated multiple one-on-one reps throughout camp. Now, Buckness noted that Callis uses size, technique, football IQ to definitely put the edge during the camp. One of the best tackles in the country. And then you had Lorenzo McMullen, breakout star in the camp, a 2028 wide receiver, and right now is the number one prospect in Ohio for 2028 and the top 10 receiver nationally, but no OSU offer yet. That's kind of odd, but that will change soon. OSU would definitely give him a scholarship offer. In-state prospect goes to Princeton High School in Cincinnati and number 17 overall player nationally for the class and also earned an Under Armour All America game invite after a dominant day at receiver. And then you have defensive tackle, Kellen Hall, another name to watch for the Buckeyes. He got an OSU offer over the weekend from the Christian Academy of Louisville in Kentucky, and ranked number 7 overall nationally by rivals, and the number 2 defensive lineman in the country. And so 247 Sports called him the alpha dog of the camp because of how dominant he was during drills. And scouts continued to rave about his athleticism flexibility with his size. And so OSU making a priority for 2028, already offering him. Then you have, according to Land Grant Holy Land, OSU hosted two elite 2029 quarterbacks over the weekend. James Allen and Demarcus Van Dyke, both teammates at Carrollwood Day School in Tampa, Florida. So James Allen already holds 36 scholarship offers from schools like Alabama, LSU, Miami, USC, and Florida. And then you have his teammate, Demarcus Van Dyke Jr., already holds offers, 25 offers from schools from Oregon, Miami, USC, Florida State, and Texas A&M. So neither had no OSU not offer these two yet, but they definitely hosted them, and they definitely have interest for them in the future because they're supposed to be blue chip national recruits down the line once their recruiting rankings are released for 2029. But it's a long way to go from now. But OSU is making progress on these early recruits. Now, OSU did miss out on a four-star prospect a couple of days ago. That was interior O lineman Ian Walker. Ian committed to Kentucky over Ohio State in Florida, top 25 interior O lineman in the country. At one point, scouts said that OSU was a favorite to land Walker. Eventually, he chose Kentucky. So, biggest names to watch for recruiting over the past few days were Jimmy Callis, the OSU commit, O lineman, and Lorenzo McMullen, um, of top recruit in Ohio for 2028, and the top receiver in Ohio, in top 10, top 20 recruit nationally for his class. Then five-star defensive lineman Kellen Hall dominated from Kentucky. Got the OSU offer over the weekend. Three names to watch moving forward. But Jimmy Callis already an OSU commit. And so I think with McMullen, it's kind of odd to have an OSU offer yet. That will change soon with him being a five-star and on three. That will change pretty soon. And so let me know anything in the comments about Ryan Day's 2-year commitment for this transfer portal era. But that is it for today. It's a wrap. Tuning in. To subscribe on YouTube. Follow Buckeyes Daily on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. All right, go Bucks.